What is up, guys? So Supergirl has been on break for like 2 or 3 months at this point. I think 2 months, and it's coming back in a month on April 16th, a little less than a month at this point. And the CW released a new trailer for the next episode, which is Season 3, Episode 14, titled Schott, spelled S-C-H-O-T-T, as in Winn Schott, through the heart. And let's watch the trailer before the breakdown.
Would anyone care to speak for the deceased?
You saw what your father did at his own funeral.
You're in danger. He told me that if I went near you ever, he would kill you.
What is that?
Flying monkeys?
No, it's a bomb.
That's a dangerous toy.
Something of note about this trailer is that, or this episode in general, is that it seems to be a filler episode, meaning it's not going to affect the plot of the season. It seems like it's going to affect the character of Winn Schott, and also Toyman is dead, but it doesn't seem to affect the storylines of Reign or the Legion of Superheroes, which is superly, that's actually, pun intended, superly disappointed, because the show has been on break for 2 to 3 months. I'm not exactly sure how much, but it's been a while. And to have a show on break for that long and then resume the show with a filler episode, that's really lame. Usually the breaks can, like, the show comes back either with the premiere of the season or with the season or the mid-season premiere being episode 10, which are usually pretty big episodes with like something affecting the season or the plot of the season. But this is like the longest break this show or any other show on the CW that I can think of has ever been on outside of the normal season breaks between the seasons, because it's been on break for 2 to 3 months. That's insane. And to do that, but then to come back with a filler episode, with an episode that doesn't focus around the main plot of the season, Reign, or even like the main side plot, which is the Legion of Superheroes, but to focus on something hasn't even appeared in this season yet, the Toyman or the death of the Toyman. That's incredibly disappointing to me because it's been so long, and I'd much rather just see Reign or the Legion of Superheroes. But getting back to the trailer, we see right here that Toyman has died, and he died in prison, so that probably means that somebody in prison murdered him. Probably that's usually how people in prison die. But this may mean that Winn Schott will become the new Toyman. The reason I say that is because in the comics, or I think in the comics, at least in the Justice League TV show, the main Toyman was actually Winn Schott Jr., not Winn Schott, and Winn Schott Jr. is this character and not his father. So I think it's very possible that he will become a villain, he will become evil, very similar to how Caitlin Snow became Killer Frost. Like, since episode 1, she was destined to become Killer Frost, and she became evil and then neutral and then good, I think, but I would have preferred it if she actually became fully evil and then became the season 3 villain. Similar to how Savitar was like a consequence of Flashpoint, they could have had the same thing, and they could do something similar with Winn Schott, with him becoming the new Toyman and maybe even the main villain of Season 4. That would be I think that he would make a great villain for Season 4 because it's a very personal villain, and even though I think he's a great supporting character, in fact, probably the best one, I think it would be great if he became a villain, maybe temporarily, maybe not. But either way, I think he's like destined to become the Toyman just because he was Toyman in Justice League, and I don't know why they would introduce this character without making him, or at least giving him some sort of conflict between being Toyman or not. And with the actual Toyman, his father, being dead right now, I think this is the perfect opportunity to make him either a temporary villain or a full villain. We see right here that Supergirl says that there are flying monkeys up there. We don't actually see them. We do see Winn actually making these flying monkeys right here. At first glance, I didn't really see a monkey until I rewatched the trailer and I heard Supergirl say that, and then I looked closely and I was like, yeah, that's a monkey. That's definitely a monkey. I don't know how I didn't see it. It's one of those things. But the way they cut the trailer, at least, is that Winn is making these flying monkeys, and the flying monkeys are attacking the DEO. This may mean that somebody's blackmailing him or something like that, or it may mean that he is turning evil, or he's like inspired by the death of his father or something, or that drives him crazy or something like that. I am leaning towards the fact that it's blackmail. Somebody's blackmailing him to make these Toymans, not Toyman, what am I talking about? These toy monkeys, these flying monkeys to attack the DEO, to attack Supergirl, or something like that. Because it wouldn't really make much sense for him to just turn like that right away. It would make sense over the course of a couple not a couple seasons, a couple episodes, or in between seasons, like just span a couple episodes, the storyline of him becoming more and more evil, or more and more dark, and becoming more and more like Toyman. Just switching him in one episode does not make any sense. But the way they made this trailer, seems like he's making these flying monkeys and they're attacking the DEO. We also hear somebody say, no, it's a bomb. I actually don't recognize this voice, so I don't know who it is. It might be one of the main cast members or somebody in the DEO, some random guy in the DEO, because I don't recognize the voice. But they do say, no, it's a bomb, so these monkeys are definitely attacking the DEO, because it sounds like he is responding to Supergirl's question, are those flying monkeys? So at least the way the trailer's cut or edited, it seems like Winn is making these flying monkeys that actually are bombs. But again, I think he's being blackmailed or something like that. So this character here is Winn's mother. You can probably tell from the trailer. What's crazy about this, or not, it's not crazy, but the thing about this is that she was actually slated to appear in episode 15, and since this is episode 14, that's a little weird to me. Maybe they were lying, maybe it was actually a mistake, or maybe they for some reason want to keep it a secret and say that she's in episode 15, but also episode 14. I'm betting that it's just a mistake and they meant episode 14, because this is not a character I would see returning for the next episode, because why would she do that? But apparently she's the estranged mother of Winn Schott, and she will be appearing in this episode. We hear Winn's mother saying that the original Toyman said that if she ever went near Winn, then he would kill Winn, which I think is almost definitely her explaining why she has been estranged, why she wasn't in Winn's life, because Winn Schott Sr. threatened to kill Winn if she ever returned to his life. And the reason for that is just because either he's a control freak and wanted to take over Winn's life completely, or just because he's insane. Either way, it actually makes sense, but that's my theory. It's not really a theory, it's just speculation that this scene right here is her explaining why she wasn't in his life. And then the trailer ends with a really weird cut going from one storyline of the whole thing with Winn and Toyman to a second storyline of this woman having Supergirl in this tube tied up or whatever, and you would probably think that that's Winn's mother. I also thought that, but looking at the comment section of the trailer, somebody pointed it out. That is somebody else. That's the villain of the week, and her name is Jacqueline Nimble. Now, the reason that's actually a pretty interesting name is because in the comics, there is a character named Jack Nimble, and he was the second Toyman after Winn Schott Sr., and then Winn Schott Sr. came back after he was retired, and he never came back. Jack Nimble was like a very short-lived character, and Winslow Schott, the first Toyman, came back like 10 years later, and then Jack Nimble has never been seen again. So this is clearly a gender-bent Jack Nimble and was changed to Jacqueline Nimble. I don't like gender-bending any character. I do make exceptions for characters I've never heard of, like Jack Nimble. I have seen him before in cartoons, but I always thought it was the same Toyman, just dressed differently. It turns out it's not. It's actually a different name completely. But this would definitely bother me if it was a character I've heard of. It's a good thing they actually never do it with characters I've heard of, because if they did, I would get angry. I still don't see the point, though. I don't understand what is the point. Is it to distinguish between the two Toymans? I think the costume does that. Even though I just said that I didn't think it was, I thought it was the same character, but I was a little kid watching those cartoons. Now I would definitely think it's a different character because they just dressed so differently. So I think the costumes distinguish between the two pretty well. You don't need to gender bend a character like that. It really annoys me when they do this, especially when it's for no reason. But anyway, let me know what you thought about the trailer in the comments down below. Me personally, I thought the trailer was really, really mediocre. I thought it was really weird how it cut from one storyline to another. Also, it looks like a filler episode, so the fact that they came back from a 3-month break, which is unprecedented for a non-in-between season break, and then came back with a filler episode, a seemingly filler episode that doesn't include Reign or the Legion of Superheroes, except for Mon-El, that is a little annoying to me. But let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below, and follow me on Twitter if you want better daily updates for my videos, because YouTube just isn't cutting it with their subscription box or you could click the notification icon right next to the subscribe button so you can get better notifications for my videos. Again, because YouTube isn't cutting it with just subscriptions, you need to click the notification icon. Thanks for watching.